Hello and welcome to Right Sports Talk. My name is Zach, and we've officially made it through the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and we are now on to the conference championships, meaning there's only 3 games left of the NFL season. In the divisional round, I actually went 4-0 with my predictions. So let's get into some picks for the conference championships. So they kick off Sunday afternoon. First is your AFC Championship, as you have the New England Patriots coming off of their victory over the Houston Texans, traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos, coming off their overtime victory over the Buffalo Bills. The big story from that game is that at the end of overtime, on the last few plays, Bo Nix broke his ankle, so he is out for the remainder of the playoffs. It will be Jarrett Stidham filling in as a starting quarterback in this game and for the rest of the playoffs as long as the Broncos continue to win. That is the big story heading into this game for the Broncos. Jarrett Stidham, I think, is a very talented quarterback. He's somebody that has experience in the NFL. He was drafted back in 2019 by the New England Patriots. He's been in Denver as long as Sean Payton has been their head coach. So he's been there for 3 years. He hasn't started a game since the end of the 2023 season, but I think he still brings a lot of talent, a lot of value to this team. Now, for the Broncos, I'm going to go over each team's key to victory. I think each team could win this game. For the Broncos, their key to victory starts on defense. They need to be able to pressure the Patriots. They need to be able to pressure Drake May, much like the Chargers did and much like the Houston Texans have done, as Drake May has in the 2 playoff games so far been sacked 10 times. He has lost 3 fumbles and he's thrown 2 interceptions. So he's shown that if you can pressure him and you can rattle him, he will make mistakes. That is what the Denver Broncos need to do. Something I think they can do, especially with Nick Bonito. They're very talented outside linebacker / edge rusher. I think they can definitely be able to force pressure and make Drake May make mistakes. And on offense, they really need to protect Jarrett Stidham, not just from the pass rush from the Patriots, but don't put him in bad situations. I think they need to get him in situations where he can be a game manager, where he doesn't need to take over the game, where he can just kind of get the ball in the hands of his playmakers, whether that's Courtland Sutherland, whether that's Marvin Mims, who made a bunch of big plays for them against the Bills, whether that's RJ Harvey, who can be a very good receiving threat out of the backfield. They just need to get the ball to their playmakers, put them in, good situations for Jarrett Stidham. Run, something Sean Payton loves to do is throw screen passes, get players in wide open space, and allow his offensive weapons to make plays. I think that's what they need to do here. It will really help against this New England defense, which got 5 turnovers against the Houston Texans, and this defense has been able to play very well for the New England Patriots. But I think this offense needs to be able to spread the ball around and not have Jarrett Stidham hang on to the ball too long, not force him to try and make hero ball throws or anything like that. And that's how they can kind of set themselves up for success and have a chance at winning this ball game. But it definitely starts with their defense and their offense not trying to do anything overly complicated. Now, for the Patriots, I think their keys to victory very similar to what Denver has to do. It starts on defense, and it starts with them getting after Jarrett Stidham. I think this defense will be able to shut down the run game of the Denver Broncos. It's something they've been able to do, especially with Milton Williams being healthy. They shut down the Texans, held them to less than 50 rushing yards. Shut down the Chargers rushing attack. And you can look through the regular season that when Milton Williams is healthy, their run defense is significantly better. I think they should be able to shut down this rushing attack of the Denver Broncos. They need to be able to pressure Jarrett Stidham. It's just something, again, I think they can do, especially with guys like Javon Cason, Anthony Jennings, those guys, and Christian Barmore up the middle helping with Milton Williams. just disrupt them, be able to get some takeaways like they did against the Texans, where they intercepted C.J. Stroud 4 times and forced him to recover the fumble. So I think they're, for both of these teams, really starts on defense. And for the Patriots offense, again, very similar to the Broncos, is they need to just protect Drake May, which is something I think Josh McDaniels, as their offensive coordinator, can very much good with, is designing plays to get the ball out of Drake May's hands quickly. He's very good at running bubble screens, screen passes to running backs. So get the ball in the hands of guys like Stephon Diggs quickly, Kayshon Boutte quickly, to guys like Pop Douglas and Travion Henderson, who can make big plays on quick passes. One thing that will help their offense is, looks like they might be getting Mac Hollins back from his abdominal injury, as he is returned to practice this week. So hopefully he can be a big help, not only in the receiving game, but he is a great run blocker. I think they also need to try and get the run game going. They need to give the ball to Ramondre Stevenson. It's something that the Buffalo Bills had a ton of success running on this defense, even though this defense has been one of the top rush defenses in the NFL. But the Patriots can just lean on Ramondre Stevenson or even Travion Henderson every once in a while, that one of them will bust a big play that could swing the momentum and help pick up the victory. So I think this is a game that could be a very low-scoring game, could be a very big defensive battle. But I think one of these defenses is going to get a key takeaway, and one of these offenses is going to be able to get a home run, big play that swings the momentum. My pick for this game is going to be the New England Patriots. I think I just trust them more. The Broncos, as good as their defense has been, their offense, even with Bo Nix, was very inconsistent at times, but their defense was able to pick up the slack for them. Well, for the Patriots, they've shown that they have the ability to go toe-to-toe with these very good defensive teams, and their defense is able to put their offense in position to put points up the board. Their defense can put points up the board on their own. So I do think the New England Patriots will go into Denver and get the victory, and it will be the New England Patriots representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. Next up, in your NFC Championship game, you have the LA Rams traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. The Rams coming off of a very thrilling overtime game victory over the Chicago Bears, in which for most of the game, neither team could really do anything. It was 10-10 for most of the second half, and they finally got a couple touchdowns in the second half, or in the fourth quarter, and the Rams snuck out with a victory. For Seattle, coming off of just decimating the San Francisco 49ers, it was 41-6, and it was over within the first 12 seconds of the game because the Seahawks took the opening kickoff back for a touchdown. This Seahawks team is very good. Both the teams are very good. As for keys to victory for the Seahawks, it is got to be to control the game with their rushing attack on offense. Kenneth Walker is coming off of having over 100 yards rushing against the San Francisco 49ers and having 3 rushing touchdowns. Zach Charbonnet suffered a knee injury in that game, so Kenneth Walker was the workhorse back in that game, and he showed that he can be an absolute workhorse with his performance. And Sam Darnold made plays where he needed to. They very much limited how much Sam Darnold needed to throw the ball. He had, I think, 124 passing yards, but I think 1 touchdown, but no turnovers, no bad plays from Sam Darnold, and that's what they have to do offensively to win this game. I think is control with the running game and minimize how much Sam Darnold has to try and take over the game. Sam Darnold can be a great game manager, but if you're relying on him to step up and win the game, I don't think he can do that. And defensively, Seahawks are one of the best in the league, and they just kind of have to keep doing what they've been doing, and that is getting tremendous pressure, forcing turnovers, just making the other team make mistakes, which is something they are very, very good at. For LA, their keys to victory is they need to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, whether that's Matthew Stafford throwing the ball to Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams a bunch of the game, or trying to grind down this defense in the run game with Kyren Williams and Blake Corum, which is something that I think they can accomplish. This is a very talented offense. And defensively, they need to slow down Kenneth Walker, and they need to make Sam Darnold try to beat them. They need to get Sam Darnold hang on to the ball, and they need to be able to pressure Sam Darnold. They need to get Sam Darnold looking like the Sam Darnold of the Jets, where he was seeing ghosts. They need to make Sam Darnold see those ghosts again. They need to, get their great pass rush with Byron Young and Jared Verse and Braden Fisk getting after Sam Darnold. Now, I think this will be another very close game, another very good defensive battle, as both these teams have very underrated defenses, or very good defense, and the Rams have a very underrated defense. The Seahawks known how good their defenses are. The main difference in this team is their offenses and how good their offenses are. The Seahawks or the Rams have been a much better offense throughout the season. This is the third time these teams are playing each other. They split their regular season series one apiece in very close games. The second one went into overtime, in which the Seahawks won that second one. The Rams won the first one in a very low-scoring defensive battle of a game where they intercepted Sam Darnold 4 times. My pick for this game is going to be the LA Rams, and I think it will be because their offense is good enough to put points up on the board, and they're going to I think they can make Seattle try to play from behind. I think the Rams have been very good at getting points up on the board early. I think if they do that this week, they get points on the board early, maybe make Seattle have to abandon the run game, make Sam Darnold try to beat you with his arm and his throwing ability, and they can get after him. And late in the game, hopefully they can run the ball with their 2 very good running backs in Kyren Williams and Blake Corum to kind of ice the game and wear the game down at the end. But I do think that the LA Rams get the victory here and advance to the Super Bowl. Let me know who in the comments who you guys think the Super Bowl matchup is going to be. What you're excited for. They're both very exciting games. They're both games that I honestly think could go either way. Even though the Broncos are starting their backup quarterback, they're still a very talented team, and I think it could go either way. Rams and Seahawks, they've both been phenomenal all year. So let me know in the comments who you think is going to win. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Next time. See ya.